Amazon. There we go. What's going on, everybody? It is fucking Friday night. Oop, I am off mic. So are you.
Hello.
This is our first show, everybody. What's going on? It's been a couple weeks. We're ready to watch a fucking movie. Specifically, we're getting ready to watch The Last Boy Scout, the 1991 Tony Scott action flick. I remember loving the fucking shit out of this movie when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Watching it, like, with a more critical eye recently, fuck, it's not as good as I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's entertaining in that, like, it is just full of action movie tropes. Like,
it's a lot. I think it's one of those movies that's full of a lot of moments that they splice together.
Yeah.
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 You need a car exploding. You need a guy getting punched in the nose and his brain bone or whatever. Like you need a couple of quippy scenes.
Yeah.
You need a bad guy who gets killed in like 4 different ways before he dies.
I love that, like, Bruce Willis is just this broken down fucking, like, just loser. Like, everybody's just shitting on him the whole movie.
Yeah. He's the biggest loser detective. Kids are throwing dead squirrels on him.
Yeah.
You got an intro with Billy Blanks. This was pre-Tybo, Billy Blanks.
Yeah, this is actor Billy Blanks still.
Yeah, and I remember thinking, good for Billy when this movie came out, because at that point he'd been doing a lot of Thursday Night Prime movies, like straight to video kung fu stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was in this theatrical release, Tony Scott joint, Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans in one of his attempts at being a movie star. He
was on kind of a roll. I should have mentioned we started the movie. If you're watching along, we're currently at 1 minute and 33 seconds into it. The fake Monday Night Football song.
Yeah, which is way better than the actual one. The real one really sucks.
We got a great night for football.
They got Bill Medley from the Righteous Brothers to do it. This was his Coke era too.
Yeah. And it looks like it.
Oh yeah.
Slick back hair, the little glasses, the earring.
Yep. They just they dressed him up like Jimmy Buffett pretty much.
I think like Carrie Underwood does the current one. Like, come on.
Oh, she does. And it sucks shit through a tube. She says, I can't wait all week. I can't wait all night for Sunday night. Or like, I forget what it is. It's like, I can't wait all week.
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
Yeah, waiting all day for Sunday night. Right.
Yeah.
Like she repeats the word in it, and it's so awkward. It's like you should say I've been waiting all week for Sunday night.
Yeah.
And she says I've been waiting all day for Sunday night.
That actually would, that does make a lot more sense. Maybe just song wise, like it makes sense.
I don't know. I don't think she had anything to do with writing it. I think she just got a big fat paycheck.
But is it that much harder to rhyme week with something, rhyme something with week than it is to rhyme something with day? Like,
yeah. And what's with the fake story about her falling down the stairs and like cutting her face open? Where's that scar? All right.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't give a shit about her music at all, but I want to know why the big fucking lie about falling down the stairs.
Yeah. She had to have plastic surgery to reconstruct her face.
Where's that scar? As a person with actual scars, I hate it when movie stars and actors talk about
walks.
Yeah. Yeah, where's this big scar we heard about? I really want to know.
I remember this beginning being like so mind-blowingly crazy when the dude pulls out the gun. This was 91, so this is like 6th grade, I think.
Now, if I remember from researching Lethal Weapon, I think when Shane Black wrote Lethal Weapon, it was called The Last Boy Scout.
Really?
Yeah, and like Joel Silver maybe, or one of them guys bought the script, but also bought the title. Like he's like, he bought the script if he could have the title, I think.
Yeah.
So he could use the title for another movie. But then they made Lethal Weapon with a different name or something. It was something like that.
Huh. All right. That was the era of just putting 2 random words together for a movie title.
Yeah. Well, this is the last Boy Scout. So I guess the doesn't really count.
Well, I was gonna say, like, Lethal Weapon, when you think about it, is kind of a goofy like term.
Yeah.
Any weapon's supposed to be lethal, like otherwise it wouldn't be a weapon.
There's no gentle weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got that great Tony Scott hazy glow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that look, just like almost Spielbergian.
And it's way before he got like really artsy with his cinematography. Because like if you watch the later Tony Scott stuff, I still like some of the later movies. Like Man on Fire.
Yeah,
with Denzel, and
is that the one where he's like the bodyguard and he's trying to get the kid back?
Yeah. John Creasy is his name, and that's based on some novels, and then even like Enemy of the State, there's just a lot of like
that was a good movie,
a lot of like zigzaggy shots, like a lot of crazy camera work. This was back before he went that far in his style. And so like I like this Tony Scott. This is right around Days of Thunder. Days of Thunder
another
is
good.
so
I just
great.
watched it recently.
I don't even like race car driving, and that's a great movie.
Fuck, what movie did we just mention?
Tony
Scott,
Enemy of the State.
Enemy of the State. Pour one out for Gene Hackman.
Yeah,
fucking
my man Gene.
Yeah, it's the first show we've done since he died.
Yeah, and he's a guy that I usually watch one of his movies at least once a month anyway.
Yeah.
And so he passed away, and it's like, I just finished watching all his movies. I guess I got to restart them all,
Yeah.
Even the bad ones. I like Loose Cannons. We should do Loose Cannons one night.
I'm down for that.
Where Dan Aykroyd plays a schizophrenic cop, and movie schizophrenic, so it means he just has Roadrunner voices and shit.
Yeah. Fuck, there was a reason I brought up Gene Hackman.
Enemy of the State.
Enemy of the State. It's a if you're not familiar, it is a very like quasi loose sequel to the Conversation.
Right, like a spiritual sequel.
Yeah.
As it were.
Yeah, Gene Hackman's character could be his character.
Yeah.
From the Conversation. It's never like stated.
Yeah.
Which is also another fucking awesome Gene Hackman movie, The Conversation.
Yeah. You get to see him kick Will Smith's ass around for a little bit.
Which
that's
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. I can watch. He made a lot of just like decent, like 3 out of 4 star thrillers in the 80s. 70s and 80s. Because like The Package with him and Tommy Lee Jones, Andrew Davis, the guy who did The Fugitive, directed it.
All right, yeah.
Gene Hackman's a guy in the military, and he's got to transport Tommy Lee Jones to like another military base. They got to fly somewhere, and he's going to be court-martialed. And turns out he's actually a Russian spy, and it's all a setup. And Tommy Lee Jones gets away, and then Gene has got to spend the rest of the movie looking for him, but he's in trouble with the military because he lost this guy. And great flick.
Yeah, all right. That sounds pretty badass.
Yeah. Night Moves were in front. It was a 70s flick where he's a private eye, and that was a good one. And the Superman movies.
Yeah.
Even Superman 4, as horrible as it is, it's so fucking great. So great that that weird ass bad guy has his voice.
80s like John Cryer basically just being Ducky in another movie.
Yeah. It was like if Spicoli and Ducky and Lex Luthor.
Oh, here's the dead squirrel scene.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Bruce Willis is playing the alcoholic not a cop, he's ex-Secret Service or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's right. He was for the governor, and he protected some like whore that he was beaten up on or something. Now he's a private dick. He's a drunk.
Yeah, I was gonna say you mentioned Shane Black earlier, who wrote this. Like, this movie could have been written by a 13-year-old, but Shane Black, pretty close.
I don't know if he wrote the first draft or if he came in, third or fourth and just fixed it.
Yeah.
Because I think his name is on a lot of movies like that.
Where he just like punch up.
Right, where he seems to be the last person on a list. He's there on.
I want to say he is listed first.
Is he?
Yeah, so I don't know.
Oh yeah. So maybe that might be alphabetical too. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it could be.
But I think there's one that's like that. Is a Last Action Hero.
He didn't write that. He just
he is. He's credited as a writer, but there's like 5 writers on it.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, I think I read something about how he, somebody else wrote it, and then he did a draft of it or something, But so who knows what is whose?
Yeah. I do like Last Action Hero as well.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
It's so much better as an adult.
Yeah.
As a kid, it sucked because it was a bad kids movie and it was a bad Arnold movie. But as an adult, you realize that it's a great satire.
Yeah.
You know, it's not supposed to be a kids movie. It's not supposed to be an Arnold movie. You know.
Here we have Bruce McGill.
Oh, he's so great. My favorite actor to play God. The last episode of Quantum Leap. He's God as a bartender.
Really?
Yeah.
The infamous. Yeah, Sam's not going to make it home thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they had to keep it open for a sequel. You know, they were thinking ahead. You know?
I guess that new one is a sequel. The one they did like a year or two ago.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
it doesn't look good.
You
know.
Although this is a series I'd never watched that I think I'm going to try to watch.
T.J. Hooker.
Close. Twin Peaks.
Yeah, that's a great show. Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah,
I think we were talking about it last time, weren't we?
Maybe
I was saying to you how if you watch it like it's a surrealist satire of a soap opera. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah. I don't know. David Lynch, I'm a little lukewarm on.
Take him or leave him.
Yeah. So I want to give it a shot. So we'll see.
It's the most restrained he's not the most restrained he's ever shown, because
Elephant Man is
Elephant Man. Yeah, there's a lot of restraint in that because it's pretty straightforward. But also that one with Richard Farnsworth, the Straight Story about the guy on the it's about this old man who like goes on a road trip on a lawnmower.
All right.
It's a G-rated movie.
No shit.
Yeah, got nominated for Best Picture.
What year was this?
Maybe early 2000s.
Huh.
It was, like just a regular movie,
All right.
No surrealist shit, no psychosexual shit.
Yeah.
I
never I heard this week that he almost was the director of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. There's I don't remember if I saw that on a David Lynch DVD or if it was on the Return of the Jedi one, but yeah, George Lucas offered that one to a couple of like visionary guys like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember who some of the other ones were right now, but I like what we got.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
I don't even know any of the other guy, the Richard Marquand's. I don't even know any of his other movies, but Return of the Jedi, I love,
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says about the Ewoks. How dare you speak ill of the Ewoks? If you were 4 years old when the fucking Ewoks came out, you would feel the same way as me.
Yeah, exactly. We there was a thing on How I Met Your Mother, like how you can tell somebody's age how they feel about Ewoks.
Yeah.
Like if you were born before a certain date, like you don't like Ewoks because you were too old to appreciate it.
Yeah.
And if you're younger, like you like Ewoks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Tony Scott makes it seem like every room that Bruce Willis is in is just full of nasty cigarette smoke.
And it's like 99% humidity.
Yeah.
Like if
that's what every Tony Scott movie looks like.
Yeah, if somebody sneezes, it's gonna rain.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's always hazy and humid, smoggy.
Oh,
that bed just stinks. Smells of Bruce McGill sex. Because she's banging Bruce McGill.
Yeah.
Behind
sweaty ass cheeks.
Yeah.
Smearing all over the bed sheets.
I mean, they did make him so unappealing in this one that honestly anyone would be a step up.
Yeah.
To him in this movie. What's his name? Joe? What's Joe what?
Joe fuck. Oh, we have a IMDb.
Yeah.
Hallenbeck.
Joe Hallenbeck, yeah.
I had a boss whose last name was Hallenbeck.
The picture of him smiling on IMDb just shows so much contempt for everyone. Like, yeah, fuck you.
I don't want to be here. I hate this. Fuck you.
That's a fuck you smile, right?
Yeah.
And to put that as your IMDb picture, That's an extra fuck you. That's like a 3-pointer of fuck yous. Taylor Negron. Oh, I forgot. He's so great in this.
Yeah.
Halle Berry. Oh, she dies tragically. That's right. She's the stripper girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
With, I'm guessing, a body double because
she is very
you see boobies and then cut and then a face.
Yeah. I say Taylor Negron is the fucking bad guy. Like,
yeah, it's so nuts the part he plays in this.
Yeah.
How did he get that part? Of course, Kim Coates is a bad guy in this because he's a bad guy in everything.
Yeah.
He's the aforementioned nose into the brain guy.
When we were first supposed to do this 2 weeks ago, we had done Innocent Blood the same week, which he is also.
He's in that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember him being in that one.
Yeah, he's one of the mafia guys.
Well, of course, yeah. I love Innocent Blood. That's a funny fucking movie.
It was good. We watched it a couple of years ago, and the episode was lost, so we ended up doing it again. And watching it again, I didn't like it as much as I watched it last time. Yeah, but it's still a decent movie. I just for everything that was in it, you got Robert Loggia, you got Don Rickles, you got fucking Anthony LaPaglia. It should be a way, way better movie than I think we got. But it's still a decent movie.
I think I sold a watch to Anthony LaPaglia. I did sell a watch to a guy named that out in LA, but I don't know if it was him or not.
How many Anthony LaPaglia or
LaPaglia?
Yeah, how can there be in LA?
Yeah.
Did he write anything, and did it have an Australian accent? Did it have an Australian accent?
I said, "Here's your watch, mate." And I just waited.
Yeah. No response.
Oh, I was watching something with him in it the other day that I'd forgotten he was in. It was a Gene Hackman movie, The Runaway Jury.
Oh, yeah.
And he's this mafia guy, with 90s mafia guy with a jacket and big shoulder pads and no shirt underneath it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what it was, right?
While we're still talking about Gene Hackman, I got a little bit of Unforgiven the other day. I got to watch that whole movie. I guess it's a fucking masterpiece.
I can watch that just anytime,
Yeah.
Because, it's like he's not really the bad guy in it.
He's doing his job.
Yeah. You might not like his punishments.
Yeah.
Right? But he's not a bad guy. He's not a nice guy.
Yeah, exactly. He's not a nice guy, but he's not a bad guy.
Right. He's not taking money to murder people.
Yeah.
He's trying to stop those people.
Yeah.
He
just happens to be the antagonist of the story because he's working against our hero, who is not a hero.
Right. It's so heartbreaking. He says to him, "I was building a house."
Yeah.
Before he shoots him.
Yeah.
It's I wasn't doing anything bad.
Yeah.
He's I don't deserve this. And William Money says, deserve's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
We all got it coming. Any
man who doesn't die better go out the back.
Yeah.
Fucking
yeah. I guess I've been real lucky when it comes to killing folk. Oh, what a great explosion. I love the way the car folds. How the fuck do they do that?
It's got to be one of those things where they just center the explosives across the middle of the car to get it to fold like that.
Take out all the guts.
Yeah. And take out Bruce McGill.
Chelsea Field, is that her name?
I think so, yeah.
Pretty sure she's married to Sam from Quantum Leap, speaking of which.
All right, let's see. Might say it in her bio.
That's right. She was in Masters of the Universe.
Oh, Lord. She was Tila.
Yeah.
She's in Commando.
She's in so many 80s movies. Yeah, she's the flight attendant.
Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Yep.
Where's the thing? All right, just click on that. That's right. I usually say spouse or something.
Yeah. I've seen him post stuff online with the two of them together, so I'm pretty sure they it's one of them couples where they've been together a long time. They got adult kids and shit,
Yeah.
He's got there it is, spouse.
It's Scott Bakula.
Yeah. So it's he's got such a great sense of humor about himself, man. You know, for
I'm
him to
thinking
do
about the
that
other guy for some reason.
No, for him to do that episode of It's Always Sunny.
Oh, we just watched it again the other day.
Oh my God.
Hey, Hollywood, somebody shit all over the bathroom upstairs.
Him to sing that song, you know,
Yeah.
like, how did they know that my wife took it all?
Yeah.
You got to have a real good sense of humor to do that shit. And especially, you also got to have a real good sense of humor to see the fucking satire and the parody and all of it.
Yeah.
You know, of doing that episode, you know. And that's an episode that is not liked.
What is the
by
rest
fans.
of it? Yeah.
It's The Gang Turns Black.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the musical episode. Yeah, you just mentioned the song.
So they don't know if they're in The Wiz, Quantum Leap, or something else. I can't remember, but oh, here's the prerequisite early 10-15 minute scene in a movie with strippers from the 80s and 90s, you know.
If it's an 80s or 90s cop movie, you have to have a scene in a bar with strippers.
Yeah, right away. So they stay in the theater thinking there will be more nudity. That's what John Landis said.
I love that he's also wearing like a Chinese guy hat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Here's Halle Berry.
Everyone in movies drinks shots.
Yeah.
They don't wince. They don't flinch. They don't go, whoa.
Yeah.
You know?
People drinking booze in movies makes it look so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you actually drink it like that, no, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I remember that first time. Yeah, going like, whoa, what the fuck is this? I'm drinking paint. Oh, Hallie, how I love thee.
Shit, I meant to do this before. There we go.
I didn't realize until I was on camera how much I look like Brian Johnson tonight.
Oh. He put some Pat Boone. Even in 1991, that's not like, even for him supposedly being a square, that's like really fucking, you're not 75, Bruce.
I play a Pat Boone song in my live show.
Do you really?
Moody River. Great fucking tune. You know that one? It's all about like a girl getting killed.
Really?
Yeah. You wouldn't think Pat Boone would sing a song like that.
Yeah, no.
You would know it too if you heard it. You would go, oh,
I was just that's what I was gonna say. It's
song.
probably one of those songs I would know if I heard. I just don't know the name of it.
Moody River, more deadly than the vainest night. Yeah. Moody River, your muddy water took my baby's life. Huh. Dun, 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 dun. It used to be like an oldie channel song, you know?
Yeah.
Before they were playing Huey Lewis and Billy Joel. Both artists I love, but who do not belong on the oldie channel, you know?
Yeah, no, we are both of that generation that were like raised on the oldies, the WTRY specifically.
Oldies was a name given to nostalgically old songs by baby boomers, you know, who wanted to hear the music of their childhood, right? Yeah. That was what oldies was. It's not just any song that's 20 to 25 years old.
And like somehow for an entire generation of the 80s, it was also the music of their childhood.
Right. Yeah. Well, if you couldn't afford an FM radio, which we couldn't, we only had an AM radio in the car. Yeah. So you listen to the oldie channel. Because it was the only channel on AM radio that even had music.
Yeah, that's
other than classical, you know. My dad listened to the classical channel, but my mom listened to the oldie channel, you know. Shit, we didn't even have a fucking tape deck. I remember my mom got a car that had a tape deck in it, and you know, and we still listened to oldies. She got like a Grassroots tape and a Neil Diamond tape, and you know. But at the time, that shit was probably only like 20 years old.
Yeah,
you know, it's just
if it was, mid 80s, that shit was 25, 30 years old. That's like us listening to shit from the 90s now.
I can't imagine trying to get my kid to listen to something from 20 years ago and telling them how amazing this music is. Yeah. You know, the lack in the lack of a difference in the music of decades is so apparent in the 2000s.
Yeah, it is. You know, yeah, you're right.
There's no music of the double aughts. There's no music of the teens, music of the 20s.
It all just kind of sounds the same.
It all sounds the same, you know?
I mean, like early 2000s, you can kind of pick out.
Yeah. I don't think I can. You know, maybe you're just more astute than I am, but
I don't know. I mean, just production wise, I think you can
Yeah.
pick it out from the early like 2000s.
It just all blends together for me.
Yeah.
There's no decades like we had, like,
And it
the
could also
70s,
be
the 80s, the 90s. They all had distinct styles and sounds, and the movies looked different. The music sounded different. The clothes looked different.
Like, I think the look of film was perfected in the 90s. This is just two old guys talking about
when I was your age.
But like, you could just tell, like, when a movie was filmed in the 90s, the film just like looks a certain, like this, you can tell it was filmed in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like it just looks a distinct style.
Yeah. But other than the advance of like digital technology, there hasn't been any real like difference of style in movies in like 20-25 years, because you could watch something from the early 2000s and still think that it's something fairly recent. Well,
this is probably why the 90s has that, like, why I think it has like the best look of film is because that's probably when they stopped, like, making developments in
that was the peak,
not to like make a pun, but making developments in film. Like after that, everything's all digital.
It was
so like this is when film was at its peak, technically anyway.
Right.
Like,
film was at its peak. Props were at their peak.
Yeah.
Because they weren't doing everything CGI.
Yeah.
So everything practical was the best practical it had ever been.
Yeah.
Here's where we see noble Bruce Willis protecting the whores of what town is he in?
LA? Yeah,
it's
LA.
Gotta be LA.
Every 80s action movie and 90s action movie set in LA.
He has probably had about 18 shots at this point in the last scene, right? While he's protecting Halle Berry. It's no wonder she gets murdered. Oh, spoiler alert. Oh, yeah. And why did she get killed again? Because she witnessed something or because she overheard their plan?
She, I think, witnessed something. No, she
Somebody's
overheard the plan.
Been stalking her.
She was like fucking around with the dude who runs the football team.
Right. Noble Willingham, that guy. The guy was like, I'm the Texas guy who runs football.
Yeah, he's the rich Texan from The Simpsons, except in real life.
Yeah, he's done several voices on King of the Hill.
Has he really?
Yeah, as Rich Texans. There's one where he wears a diaper and he does the propane.
Is he fucking Hank's boss?
Yeah, he's like the corporate boss.
Yeah.
And they reveal that he wears a diaper in the improv sketch when Bobby's in the improv group.
Yeah.
The Propaniacs, that's what they're called. Damon Wayans taking liberties with actresses' breasts.
I was thinking that same thing. Like, he just had to have been doing that. Like,
there are so many shots in old movies where you will see a guy put his arm around a woman to like help her through like a tragedy or something. You'll just see his hand just go like, come on, man.
In Return of the Jedi, in the scene where it's the gunfight on Endor, and like after Princess Leia gets shot, and like Han is like Harrison Ford's on the ground like helping her, and he's just got a handful of titty. Like,
oh man. Like, they're not going to want to redo this shot. It's going to cost a lot. Yeah, that's a fucking move. I see that in so many movies. I'll go, oh, you just grabbed her tit.
Yeah, but yeah, like they were on the bed, and like he pulls her shirt open to look at her tit. Like, fucking, was that in the script, or did he just do that? Like,
he slaps him.
Yeah. Oh man. God, I love Utica Club.
Mm-hmm.
I never. This is the first time I've seen this in like high definition. Notice the 13 he has in hair on the back of his head.
Oh, is it his number?
Yeah. He says it's his high school number. I must have just not remembered that part of the movie when he explained it.
I love Hollywood's fascination with the Desert Eagle gun.
Yeah. Well, it just looks cool.
Yeah, that triangle.
In real life, it would probably break your wrist if you shot it like
that. Yeah, that thing, the recoil on that is nuts.
Yeah.
You can get it in you know, a bunch of different calibers, and the biggest one is 50 caliber.
Yeah, it shoots those machine gun bullets.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
If you ever want to have a laugh, go on YouTube and look up "girl shoots Desert Eagle."
Smacks her in the head.
Oh, yeah,
I've
there's
seen
more
that
than one.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, the recoil fires back, like it just hits her right in the head.
I love that old Renault. That's the car right there. With the back wheels where they cover half the wheels. It's French. I think it's French.
Yeah.
They get one in European Vacation.
Yeah. Didn't they make Le Car?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they did. Oh, it's Le Car. It's Le George.
Le George. When I was a kid, we used to play in the woods behind Westland Hills, and there was an abandoned Le Car. Along with, you know, torn up pornography. That's not even a joke, too. I remember that was the first.
I mean, its natural environment is the woods.
That was the first woods I saw torn up pornography, was behind Westland Hills, the ballpark.
I love trying to explain that to people who didn't grow up in that era. Like, no, there was just porn in the woods.
Yeah. It's usually the most disturbing shit you could find. I remember being so confused by it because it was bondage stuff.
Really?
Yeah, and it was this girl like tied up to a chair, and she had ropes like, you know, like through her, you know, like, tightly, like in crevices and like around her tits, like really tight. Like, this is just weird. You know, I didn't understand why. I didn't even understand that it was like a titillation.
Yeah.
You know, like, because I still don't understand how somebody could be turned on by that. Not that I'm knocking it or whatever, but
each their own.
Yeah, but it was just like, what the fuck is the purpose of this, you know?
Oh man. There we go. Oh, we have barely talked about this, but whatever. We're having a good time.
Things are hazy. People are dying.
Yeah, exactly. Bruce Willis is drunk.
Yep. He's smirking. He talks out of the side of his mouth. Damon Wayans has already done his gay character. He got that out of the way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I noticed that when I was watching it. Yeah.
Halle Berry's dead. We're going to find out that he pays $700 for his leather pants. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, Bruce is dressed like a high school custodian.
Yeah, or a chain gang member. Like...
Yeah, they should be chained together.
Yeah.
Him and Damon. It's the Defiant Ones. I think that's the Chained Together movie, right?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Sidney Poitier and Tony Curtis.
Yep.
Tony Curtis. He's one of those guys that's I love watching old movies with him because he can't get rid of that New York accent no matter when the movie takes place. Even fucking Spartacus, he's got that goddamn accent. Maybe in a sci-fi movie, he's got the fucking accent.
We have the angry police captain.
Why did any director in the 90s attempt to give Bruce Willis toupees?
I was thinking the same thing. Like, well, not that. I mean, I was noticing his toupees, but I should more accurately say, you can see the fucking line of where it sits on his head.
Yeah, and it's always just a little tiny patch in the middle there.
Yeah,
you know, it's never really anything significant. You know?
Yeah, like when it looks like the fucking the Kids in the Hall sketch with where he's got the squirrel on his head. Yeah.
I mean, right here he looks like if Bert Kreischer was just really sad because he had to keep his shirt on, you know, and he had to grow his hair out a little.
Yeah, he had to shave his mustache. He was trying to grow it back.
That piece of shit. I'm not referencing him because I like him, just so you know.
Oh.
That fucking hack. It's not just a hack, he's a hump.
Tell us how you really feel about Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, come on. That guy's a fucking hump. I loved on that roast when Nikki Glazer said, "Oh, we're such a big fan of you, Bert, and your joke."
Oh, Oh, I like listening to Two Bears, One Cave.
I do too, but when it's just Bert, oh man, that's just intolerable.
The other, like a couple episodes ago, he was talking about like, I would interview Putin, like Putin, that'd be great. Like,
no, you wouldn't.
Yeah, like, oh fuck you, dude.
And sometimes when there's a guest on that is just Bert, you can tell the disappointment in the guest's face where it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Dude,
why am I here with you?
Yeah.
You know, like he thought so little of me to just give me Bert, you know. There's been a couple of them too where they're clearly just mocking him, you know, in their answers, you know, and he doesn't even realize it, you know, like that Jimmy Carr, the British guy.
Yeah.
You know, he just every other line is just a jab at him, you know. It's great. Ooh, hello, Elvira.
Oh yeah. Pick that up at Tampa Bay Comic-Con, where I'll be again this year.
Nice. Oh, there you go. Some more homophobia.
It was, you know, de rigueur for the early 90s.
Oh, yeah. It's even in kids' movies, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, this movie is like 50% gay jokes, basically. Like,
well, you can't have guys bonding like this without there being a fear of them wanting to fuck. In an old movie, anyway. I don't mean in real life, you know?
Yeah.
Real confident adults can have relationships with people of the same sex without being afraid of wanting to bang them, you know? It's just weird, you know?
Damon Wayans is once again wearing his 1800s railroad worker hat.
I thought it was a Kumo D hat, but yeah, it may
it's
be
got the tassel in the back.
It may be a coolie hat. I think you're right.
I got this from Eddie Murphy's wardrobe from The Golden Child.
Got this from English Bob. He killed the guy who was wearing it because he was building the railroad. That there's English Bob.
Oh man.
Yeah, he does look like the Golden Child there, which is not a good movie, but at the same time, it is a good movie.
Yeah, I think it gets by on a lot of folks because of nostalgia. Like we all saw it a lot when we were a kid.
Very poorly made.
Yeah.
The practical effects are a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
You know, it shouldn't be an Eddie Murphy movie, you know?
Yeah, he is a little bit like wrong for it.
Yeah, it should be a Kurt Russell movie.
There you go. Well, you know? A little too close to
Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah, you're right.
Which I am also due for reviewing of. I haven't seen that in a very long time.
I've put that on for my daughter recently. Just because it's got a lot of monsters in it, and it's a lot of fun. You know, that was on when we were kids.
Yeah, exactly. That was on HBO all the time, or actually, it was on cable too, like basic cable. Like, like it was like Saturday afternoon movies and shit. Like,
should I copy this?
Yeah, sure. I got a prescription. It's medicine.
I need my medicine. Oh my God. He looks like Blank Man in that picture. It's the only way I can say it.
Hell yeah.
Correct.
He's
yeah.
Spending time with this little special boy.
Yeah. At least they didn't do a Photoshop job, though. You know, considering that's the only way they were able to do old photos in movies for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Is by a shitty Photoshop job.
He's even dressed like the rich Texan from The Simpsons in that picture.
Yep.
Yeehaw!
Yeah, he was in I don't remember if it was Robot Jocks or Robot Wars, Noble William. But he was in one of those. He's He's a bad guy in a few 80s and 90s movies.
There's just a joke that is definitely in a couple of different like 80s and 90s cop movies. I gotta go to the bathroom. You want to come? I can't. My doctor said I'm not supposed to lift anything
Heavy objects.
Yeah.
That's right, because we're afraid of gays and we all have big dicks. And my dick is bigger than your big dick. And if you dare try to challenge that.
And it's very not gay of me to let you know that.
Mm-hmm. In fact, it's the straightest thing I can do to point out that my dick is bigger than your dick. I have a more efficient tool. That's what it all comes down to.
We were also just recently watching the Zoo episode of It's Sunny.
Oh, the texting.
Yeah,
yeah.
Making direct eye contact.
Yeah, I love when he pees on him. I've always wanted to do that ever since watching Wolf and Nicholson does it to Spader.
Yeah.
I'm marking my territory. Yeah, this movie is just a lot of flash, you know?
It really is. There's not much of a story. It's just a couple of like cool scenes kind of.
Yeah, let's get a couple of cool guys who are opposites, you know, to just shoot up a bunch of shit, blow up a bunch of stuff. You know, we'll show some boobies here and there. We'll have some catchphrases. We'll make $1 million.
Like, this was seriously like my favorite action movie for a while.
Yeah, this was good. I have this on a VHS tape that
Same
I
here.
off TV.
Yep. Recorded it off HBO. You recorded it on the super long setting. You get 3 movies.
I have one on a super long tape too.
Yeah. I used to have
remember what the other 2 movies on there are.
Full of those.
Everyone's got a cool old car in this.
Yeah. Another like trope, the tape machine that eats tapes.
Yeah. But it is a trope for a reason, you know?
That's true.
There's a reason why I don't play the tapes in my car. I have a tape deck in my car.
Yeah.
And the last few ones I put in there, it
ate
got a little unruly, yeah. Suppose I could order one of those head cleaners, but those things never worked. You know, every time you'd get a head cleaner, you'd spend like $20 on the thing. It was a little tape. You'd put it in there with some little oil.
The thing in the hole.
Yep.
Ooh. Everybody does have a cool, even like Bruce Willis's car.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a Oldsmobile Tornado.
Yeah.
In that Stephen King novel, The Dark Half.
Yes.
The Mr. Hyde character, you know, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde story of George Stark drives a black Tornado, and on the back it says "high-toned son of a bitch." That's a good flick with Timothy Hutton.
Never seen it.
George Romero directed it.
I thought it was Jeff Fahey. Oh, that's Body Parts. I'm thinking of
Body Parts. Yeah. George Romero directed it. It's got Michael Rooker, Timothy Hutton.
Yeah,
he's a writer, and he's like kind of an artsy fartsy writer, and he, under an alias, he writes pulp novels, and the pulp novels are really popular, but he's embarrassed by them because he's an intellectual. You know,
yeah.
And when he writes them, he's like a real asshole. He turns into a drunk, you know, and he just mistreats his family and shit. And so a guy comes along and tries to blackmail him and says he's going to tell everybody that I'm going to tell everybody that you're the writer of these novels if you don't pay me X amount of money.
Yeah.
And so instead of paying him, he just tells everybody himself. But then, so he kills off this writer, this alias writer of his, and then the writer just like manifests itself, and he's like, I don't want to be dead.
Yeah.
And so the guy, like the character from the book, like, you know, George Stark, the writer, he just like comes to life and just starts killing all the fucking people in the guy's life.
All right.
You know, it's a lot of fun. The book, you know, the Stephen King books are usually good. The book was good, but the movie was actually a good, you know, good version of it. You know.
All right. I was just speaking of Romero, we just watched Diary of the Dead for Wicked Monsters. That is not his best work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know Survival of the Dead is even worse.
Yeah, I never watched either one of those. I think it was just trying to hang on to, you know, the title, you know, of doing the Dead movies.
Yeah,
you know?
I was even Nick and I when we were even talking when we were like discussing it. Like, is this? How much did George Romero really have to do with this?
I think it had a lot to do with his son, didn't it? Wasn't his son the real force behind it? I thought one of his kids was a filmmaker.
Yeah, I'm like, are we just slapping his name on this? Like,
yeah, and he was just, you know, he was old, senile, and signing the will.
Yeah,
you know?
It was like one of those, like a Stan Lee situation where, like,
where they're taking advantage of him.
Yeah.
Got a coolie hat.
It's impossible to take him seriously while he's wearing that hat.
He's like that guy on Deadwood, you know, the laundry guy. Come on, how many movies can we see Bruce Willis with a goddamn water bag? You know, what do you call those things?
Ice pack,
heating pack, or whatever. I don't know. Old movies, that's always the you know, how you treat a hangover. I have never once in my life put one of those on my head after a hangover.
Yeah.
I've had many hangovers. I've never once done that.
Yeah.
I might have one tomorrow. I'm not going to put that thing on my head. I don't even know what that thing is. I don't know if I have one.
We used to have one when I was a kid, I remember. It was like fucking rubber.
Perfect parking in front of the police mansion. Is he wearing like a Keith Haring shirt or something?
It's the second Keith Haring reference I've heard today.
Really?
The first one I actually made.
Okay, we get it. You smoke, you squint. Now you got to do this. Do this.
Yeah.
See if you can make a Bruce Willis face.
Purse your mouth out to the side.
Yep.
It is a different toupee also than the one he was wearing in the earlier scene. Can't see it right now.
One of my favorite Mystery Science Theater movies has a case of that werewolf. It was a Mike episode where it's they find it's like the plot is a great idea. Just it really is as far as like a horror story goes. It's a really interesting twist on a story that is just done the same way all the time.
Yeah,
but there's like some archaeologists digging up stuff in the desert, and they find the skeleton of a werewolf.
We actually drove through that tunnel when we were in Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, I walked through that tunnel.
Oh yeah, no shit.
Oh yeah, because you can't get a cab in LA.
It is like a couple of blocks, like right from the police station there, the city hall.
That's the one that goes under the airport, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Runway?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
No,
I thought it was the
downtown.
one that goes under the runway. Okay,
No.
Okay. I walked through the one that goes under the runway.
No, that one is like it's downtown. It's like a couple of blocks from City Hall, and then like there's that Disney fucking concert hall. The one that looks like crumpled up paper, basically.
Yeah, I didn't do a lot of hanging out downtown.
We went to New Year's Eve at City Hall like 10 years ago. There,
yeah,
it was pretty fucking cool because they had the big like projection show on the side of the fucking building.
Yeah,
I just kept thinking like this is where Frank Drebin peed through the press conference.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Tunnel, Los Angeles.
No, that's what you were saying.
Yeah,
thing. It was before that.
Oh fuck! It's gone.
Yeah,
it's gone. I love the kids watching Lethal Weapon.
Oh,
Daniel
was
Harris.
she? I
Yeah.
didn't see that.
There was the scene where Mel Gibson's getting tortured by the it's an Allion.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
long? Yeah. There's always a kid, wiser than their years in a Shane Black script.
Yeah. Well, you get fucking the kid in Last Action Hero.
The Nice Guys.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Have you watched that one?
I have not seen that in a long time. I've seen it.
It's worth a good. It's worth a rewatch. What's the other one there? Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. There's a kid in that, right?
I'm trying to think. That's a good movie too.
I think there's a kid in that. The new Predator that he did.
Yeah, the kid has the fucking weapon thing.
Yeah. He's got a great line too, where he, it's like a reverse psychology thing. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's reverse psychology. You're just saying the opposite of what you don't want." He's like, "Okay, don't go fuck yourself." Oh, the makeup department went nuts on his scar there for that shot. Did you see that? Nobody would have that scar on their head without serious brain damage.
Yeah,
above his right eye there. I would doubt his ability to function as a private detective, let alone just a normal person in society with a scar like that.
Yeah, anything with enough like force to leave a scar like that is going to have
to split your temple.
Yeah,
I split my forehead open, and the scar is barely visible now, years later. But any fucking deeper. If it looked like that thing, holy shit.
Yeah.
You'd be feeding me fucking applesauce right now, That's a Frankenstein scar.
Come with neck bolts.
Can we just once have a cop character? I know he's a private dick, but can we just have a cop character who gets along with his family? Can we find like the conflict in his life elsewhere? We get it. You're a shitty dad. You're a shitty husband.
Yeah.
Everybody
hates you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tasty. Oh man.
This is definitely a movie you can watch without listening to.
Oh, for sure.
Since it's all about style.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing that's not happening like visually that that won't get across to you.
Yeah. Nothing that doesn't look like either a cigarette ad or a liquor ad. Or a car ad.
It does look like the Schlitz gay ad in
I mean, the Scotts got their start in advertising.
Did they really?
They both made hundreds of commercials before they ever made movies.
No shit.
Yeah, they had their own company.
Huh. All right.
Ridley Scott did like hundreds of commercials before he ever did a movie.
Oh, excuse me.
I think his most famous one was that Apple commercial. I mean, that wasn't before all his movies. That was during his career. But that one from 1984 with the
the guy like throws the hammer at the fucking screen or whatever.
Yeah. Big Brother's in it and all that shit.
Yeah.
There's one movie of his I haven't seen, and only because I've never been able to find it. I'm sure I could rent it, but I'm just waiting for it to be on streaming or something. But it's called The Duelists. And it was his first movie, and it was Harvey Keitel and Keith Carradine.
All right.
And it's I heard that the movie Highlander was inspired by this movie because it's about these just two dudes in like feudal, or not feudal, but like like Renaissance France or something, where they just are constantly dueling with each other because they just They just fucking hate each other.
All right.
You know?
I can get on board. He does have some fucking awesome movies.
Tony Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's a great one. The Hunger with David Bowie and Susan Sarandon. Weird ass vampire movie. It was his first movie.
This is producer. That's why I'm not seeing it.
Susan Sarandon's doing some hot girl on girl stuff. That's the reason why I saw it when I was younger, but it is a trippy movie.
I don't see it.
The Hunger, right there.
The Duelists.
Oh, that's Ridley Scott. Tony Scott.
Oh.
Yeah, Revenge. That's a great one. Kevin Costner.
Oh yeah.
So,
Top Gun. Days of Thunder 2. Days of Thunder. Beverly Hills Cop 2 is what I was going
Beverly Hills Cop 2 definitely has
Romance.
the Tony Scott look.
Crimson Tide, another awesome Gene Hackman movie.
Yeah.
The
True
Fan,
Romance is so
Enemy of the
great.
State.
The Fan, okay.
Yeah.
Not his best.
Man
on Fire, that's
Domino.
great. Domino, I saw it because Tom Waits is in it, but I wasn't that crazy about it. Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3, not great. Denzel Washington's good in it, but John Travolta,
not great.
No, like why do they keep letting him be a bad guy?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How do you let him take over a Robert Shaw role? You know?
And I never saw the Train movie, Unstoppable.
No, but I heard that one's good. I actually want to see that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, the old one is so great, and then the new one, it's got a lot of what I was talking about before, like a lot of that, like trippy camera work that Tony Scott was doing later in his career.
Yeah.
Domino was one of the worst.
Yeah, that was not good.
Culprits of that, you know, where it was just some of the. It's like the way that Oliver Stone started shooting shit after Natural Born Killers.
Yeah,
all of his movies, he was trying to make it just so edgy and avant-garde, you know. Where there's blurry shots and there's zigzagging things, and you know you can't watch a scene without getting nauseous. You know?
We're gonna make this look like it was shot on video.
Yeah. And I hated Natural Born Killers. He did it with U-Turn, which was an okay movie, but it's a movie just full of despicable people. So there's just nobody to root for, you know.
Yeah,
it's like watching a Rob Zombie horror movie where it's like where
everything just feels gross and slimy.
Yeah, you know, you want to at least have somebody you can root for. And there isn't any of those in a Rob Zombie movie.
Like he was in 5 movies. None of them anybody's ever heard of.
Yeah. Maybe they were British things.
Let's see.
Who's Greg Hicks? Check Greg Hicks. Oh, just the Last Boy Scout.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he wrote like the spec script, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, maybe Shane Black just did enough to it to get his name in there, you know, ahead of the credits.
Long Kiss Goodnight, that's a great one.
Yeah.
And I still like The Predator.
Yeah, that's one I'll throw on when it's on FX a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want photos.
It's not the best of the bunch, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, Long Kiss Goodnight is awesome.
Iron Man 3. That was all right.
God, I don't want this at all.
When is that coming?
I keep hearing things about it. Like
I've been hearing things about that for years.
Can we stop trying to redeem Mel Gibson? Like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Because Riggs is a likable character.
Yeah.
How are you going to bring him back to a likable character?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he's a competent filmmaker, but he doesn't have to be likable to do that.
Yeah, he's a fucking terrible human being.
He's a terrible human being. Exactly. Yeah.
He wrote the Monster Squad.
That's another one where I'm pretty sure he came in and did like a rewrite. Because Fred Decker directed that, and they were writing partners, I think, early on.
Yeah.
I'll go back down though for a second. Keep going. Oh, Lethal Weapon 2. If you ever get a chance, look up the Lethal Weapon 2 script online, his original one, and read it because it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It was really brutal, and they Oh, the guy on the right. I saw him at the Stormville flea market last year, down by Poughkeepsie.
No shit.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but he's a character actor. He's in every fucking show and movie.
Yeah.
He was on a recent episode of Sunny. He was on Silicon Valley. He was Smokey, the guy who runs the roller skating rink they work at in the flashback episode.
We just watched that one.
Where like I guess Colleen and I have this discussion all the time when we see that one. Are they saying Dee is the way she is because of
she hits her head?
She had a head injury.
Yeah.
Like so she has a traumatic brain injury. Okay, that's what I got too. Because there's so many inconsistencies in the continuity of the show with that episode in general.
That season, that's the same where they introduced Charlie's sisters.
They were mentioned. They're in the first episode.
Are they really?
Yeah. Or not the first episode, the first season. Charlie got molested.
I don't remember.
They have an intervention at the house. It's the first episode with the McPoyles. And they all are, when Charlie goes to his house, they're all there. And Charlie's mom has a doll and she's like, show me where he touched you.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, I think, Charlie is saying like something to the other guys about how when after he did that, how his sister started crying and saying that he touched her too, or like something like that.
Yeah.
But he mentions his sisters.
Huh. I don't remember that.
But just kind of like in a passing thing.
Yeah.
Colleen and I always just thought they were trying to like tie up all the loose ends in the last season by doing shit like that.
Yeah.
We mentioned Charlie had a sister, so we better do something about Charlie's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, now this scene's lit like it's a fabric softener commercial.
Yeah, 100%.
Pinks and whites.
Sleep knowing your kids have 100% antimicrobial.
Yeah. And he dresses like Uncle Cracker in this movie.
You're gonna make some shitty middle of the road pop music.
Yep. Taylor Negron. It's just so. Oh, don't kill the dog. I don't remember that.
I don't think they do.
No. Okay.
Yeah. No, they don't.
That's a sweet Cadillac.
It is pretty badass. There's too many bullets in his gun. Yeah.
Yeah. Just tilt your head over. That'll prevent you from getting a micro concussion from having a gun shot right next to your ear.
Yeah. They like superimposed. Oh no, it's not Jimmy Carter.
I was just about to say, is that supposed to be Jimmy Carter?
Yeah.
I think it is supposed to be though. Don't they say that he took a bullet for Carter?
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be the fucking dude he caught with the hooker.
Is it the same guy that he caught with the hooker? I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't. Maybe it might be Jimmy Carter.
Why would you have a guy that looks exactly like Jimmy Carter if it's not supposed to be Jimmy Carter? Take those bullets from me, sucker.
Yeah.
I got more houses to build. I can't go. Never got the calling a guy Kim thing.
Yeah. No.
Was it a guy first or was it a girl first?
A dude's name,
Usually it's a guy's name first when it comes down to all names, right?
Probably.
Guys get everything first, right?
Yeah.
He's the crazy guy in the boat at the beginning of Waterworld.
Who, Kim Coates?
Kim Coates, yeah.
Yeah.
The traitor. He's like, look at you. He's like talking to voices and shit. He was the killer in Unforgettable. You remember that one with Ray Liotta? Where like if you take like after somebody dies, they take a syringe and they like suck some shit out of their brain and they turn it into a drug. And if you inject it, you can see the last moments of the person's death. It was actually like a pretty cool thriller.
I don't know if I saw that one.
No?
Sounds like Strange Days almost. Without the
Yeah. John Dahl directed it, and he did a bunch of Thursday Night Prime movies.
All right.
Which actually, the Thursday Night Prime movies he did were so good that he wound up getting like bigger jobs because of it.
Maybe we should do a John Dahl Thursday Night Prime next.
Yeah, like there were two of them. One was called The Last Seduction with Linda Fiorentino. Yeah, it was kind of like a lower budget, like Basic Instinct type thing. And then the other one was what was the other one he did? Red Rock West.
Yes, Nicolas
Cage, Dennis Hopper. Yeah, lots of fans. You're watching a Scott movie. Ridley and or Tony.
You got to move all that human air around,
Yep. All that humidity, yep. You got to give Bruce a reason to squint.
There could be a lot of chlorine in that indoor pool. Oh.
He's so cool. Oh, is this where he's going to make a joke about how he hates rap?
Yeah, he is just a fucking walking trope in this movie.
Yeah.
Oof.
He's grown up Francis from from Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, Prentice is busy.
The only two guys in movies with inside pools.
Touch me again, I'll kill you.
Everyone got their suits from JW.
To say, is Taylor Negron wearing those fucking Z Cavaricis?
Yeah.
Big baggy ass pants.
Yeah. Tapered at the bottom.
Like a Paul Abdul backup dancer.
Straight out of Bobby Brown's closet.
That and a bunch of crack, probably.
And an unconscious Whitney Houston.
Yeah, give me a minute with your mom in private.
Why was she dressed like an 80s movie tomboy kid?
Yeah. This is out of nowhere, but I love that Paul F. Tompkins bit about how, like, you have all these actresses, like, always say, like, oh, I was such a tomboy growing up. You never have actors going, oh, I was a huge sissy when I was a kid. Yeah, I wore short pants, had a giant lollipop.
Where's he getting all these outfits?
I was just thinking, like, every scene he's dressed like to annoy, basically.
Yeah, I mean, isn't he sleeping at Bruce Willis's house?
It'd be great if that was just Bruce Willis's wardrobe, like those flashy '90s shit. Like,
oh, that's my best coolie hat. Yeah. What are you talking about? Where did you put it?
He's dressed like a Knicks player in the '90s, giving a post-game interview.
His whole job is to just squint and look cool.
And light a cigarette every now and again.
Wow. The whole plot is about
Legalizing
gambling. You can't escape that shit now.
It's literally like you can do it on your phone.
Yeah. That's what all this murder is about. They murdered the lovely Halle Berry over legalized gambling.
We now live in a world with DraftKings. Like,
yeah. Anybody want to apologize to Pete Rose?
Yeah.
Anybody? No? Okay. Wait a couple years.
I did a comic show with him once.
Yeah. Was he a prick?
I mean, not really. Like he was definitely like, you couldn't really like approach him.
Yeah.
I just gave him a fucking
yeah. Pete Rose is Pete Rose, man. I mean, if you like baseball, how can you not be impressed by that guy? You know, he's the only fucking guy who was like a manager and a player.
Yeah.
The guy played every goddamn position, you know?
Played while he managed.
Yeah. That's the ultimate example of a boss who is not afraid to do the work that he tells his employees to do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's pretty fucking rare.
Yeah.
You know, most people become bosses so they don't have to do the dirty work. You know?
Yeah.
Here's another guy with an unfortunate name, Chelsea.
Yeah. That's the guy who I thought not Gary Carter. President Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
That's what I thought Jimmy Carter.
Oh, you thought it was him?
Yeah, what's his name? Chelsea.
We
have the Internet Movie Database in front of us.
Yeah. He's in a ton of movies
as well, yeah.
That's right. He's the old pitcher, the knuckleballer.
Yeah. Chelsea Ross.
Chelsea Ross.
Trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball.
Yeah. He's a dirty cop and above the law.
Yeah.
Seagal's first.
Joe Boo needs a refill.
He usually plays like a dirty, corrupt, politician or bureaucrat. Geffen. Does he even fucking make shit anymore?
I don't think so. He's part of DreamWorks, isn't he?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I have horrible cotton mouth for some reason. You get a regular non-alcoholic drink.
I love the psychology of props and movie posters, because it's like, okay, we got to put the two big stars in the picture so people know that they're, these are the people they're paying for, like the star of In Living Color and the star of Die Hard, right? That's what they're showing you.
Yeah.
Because this was around the time when they just stopped doing creative movie posters and they just started doing the fucking famous heads, and they still do that shit now where it's just famous heads.
Yeah.
So, but the props they give you, it's like, oh, okay, he's an athlete.
Yeah.
He's got a gun.
Well, it's also probably like subconscious marketing to the fucking demographic. Like,
oh, totally. Yeah.
The only thing that's missing in this picture is a beer can.
Right. Oh, yeah.
There's a football. There's a gun.
Yep.
I'm in.
Oh, there's fire behind him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, like, the first thing I think of is, where's my beer?
Yeah. If there's a beer can with tits on it. Like, that's everything you need.
That's everything you need. Yeah. So many posters for movies, you'll just see people standing there, and then there'll just be like a hand down at the bottom with a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a little game I like to play is when you see a poster that clearly the gun and the hand don't belong to the actor. Yeah. That happens a lot. Where it's like they made the poster, and then somebody in the production, said, "Wait a minute, this nobody knows what's going to be happening here in this movie. Get a gun in a hand."
That could be the case here. That hand is disembodied.
Yeah. There's some old Bronson movies that do that, where like you just see this weird hand and a giant gun down at the bottom. Is like, that gun never even appears in the movie, It really says a lot about America too, I mean, this is all you need. to say, oh, I want to watch that.
Yeah.
There's a guy with a gun.
Yeah.
I want to watch that.
And we're pretty much in the same place.
Like, I don't know if I'm
later.
I'm in a guy with a gun mood today. Guy with a football though.
It is Sunday.
And I've been waiting all day.
Oh.
What is the tagline there? I can't see it. The goal is to service.
Hold on, let's see if we can make it bigger.
Oh, the goal is to survive.
Oh, I thought you meant this one here.
I was trying to read under the title. Oh, there's two of them. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're two. The gambling syndicate in pro sports.
They're two fallen heroes up against the gambling syndicate.
Wow. That is so nuts that this shit is all legal now.
Everyone had counted them out, but they're about to get back in the game. Jesus Christ. That's like a paragraph long, tagline.
And it still doesn't really tell you anything.
Yeah. There's two taglines on the poster.
I bet you there were so many producers and they had a big disagreement over which one they were going to use, and they couldn't come to an agreement.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, is Sven Ole Thorsen in this scene? I mean, there's a whole bunch of thugs around.
I think he does show up in this movie,
he?
because I noticed, is that Sven Ole Thorsen? It might have been this movie, might have been another movie I was watching recently, but he does
he's always just showing up in a scene where there's a bunch of thugs.
Maybe he was a Beverly Hills Cop, because I did watch the first two recently.
Yeah. Probably works for Steven Berkoff, the art guy. Yeah. Mr. Akmel Foley.
Yeah.
Axel Foley.
His dick was stuck in the chicken. That was the peak of comedy when I was 12.
Oh, yeah. My daughter wants me to tell her jokes, and the only ones I know are jokes like that.
Yeah. So Mike Tyson's in line waiting to see the no, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, really, what kind of shitty bad guys just let somebody walk up and give something with a hidden compartment in it to a guy they're about to kill?
Yeah.
I mean, a puppet has a hidden compartment in it by very nature of being a puppet, you know?
Yeah. It is concealing somebody's hand.
Right.
Which could have anything in it.
Yeah, like, oh, well, we're about to kill you, but let's hang on for this puppet show.
Yeah, let him have the puppet. We're gonna kill him.
Last request. We don't get to see puppet shows very much,
I love a puppet.
Good puppet theater is good and hard to come by.
It's like vaudeville.
Wow, Cavaliers were everywhere in the 80s. I miss the Cavalier. I wish Chevy would make another Cavalier.
I remember my friends growing up, their parents had this fucking bright red Cavalier.
Yeah.
And that was a tiny ass car.
Yeah.
I don't even think I could get into a Cavalier.
I honestly don't know if I was ever actually in one.
Yeah. It was very no thrills. No frills. Sorry, not no thrill. It was no
probably
thrills.
No thrills too.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. You avoided a tiny fender bender and you went down a mountain.
Yeah. Died in a fiery inferno.
The bad guy thugs are always just so willing to die.
There's no way they would survive that.
Oh yeah, they haven't, the inertia hasn't even sent them into the dashboard or the windshield
or careening out of the top of the open car.
The open car, yeah.
Yeah.
Rick Dukeman, one of his many 90s movie appearances.
Yeah.
I remember Rick Overton got upset with me because I didn't even say anything bad about him, but I just when he mentioned Rick Dukeman. Like I said something and he was just like, huh? And I was like,
yeah.
oh no, like he's awesome. You know, it was like I wasn't.
I mean, he's always been good to us, Rick Overton, but from what I've heard, he has a bit of a fucking temper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got mad twice when we were interviewing him. It was once it was when I like just mentioned Dukeman.
Yeah.
And then the other was like when like I mentioned something about Charles Rocket because he said that they both auditioned at the same time. And I was like, oh wow, Rocket. I was like, I can't believe that you two guys, you know, like, and he like took it as like an insult of Charles Rocket. I was like, nothing against him.
Yeah.
He was like, well, he was a very good friend of mine. And I was like, oh, well, I wasn't saying anything bad about him. It's just you guys are different.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Yeah, you know, like I said, he was always good to us.
Yeah. I used to follow him online, and I would see like 6,000 political posts a day. And now that we're talking about him, I haven't seen anything from him in a long time.
I think he either got rid of his because we used to be friends too, and like I would even like bullshit with him every now and again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I haven't. I think he's just off Facebook.
Yeah.
Shit, we talked to him like 3 or 4 times. Like,
yeah,
he was always good to us.
Don't piss off the Drake.
Love the Drake.
All right, where are we in the movie here?
Yeah, I was thinking that I checked before. Like we still have.
We're actually pretty close
got,
to the finale.
Probably like 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll hang it out. We'll tough it out. Because when I checked before, there was like 50 something minutes. I'm like, we're not gonna make it. No, we got this.
I mean, it is pretty light on plot.
Yeah, we've said it a couple times. There's just nothing. There's no depth to this movie.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of scenes, you know.
But I mean, like, if this was another just like goofy fucking. Oh, I forgot to tell you, bomb means fuck you in Polish.
Yeah.
Is anyone gonna fucking get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, why is that guy telling me fuck you?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean everything is very. It's a shallow ass fucking movie. Like it's all visual.
Yeah.
You know, it's just what can we make look cool? Ooh,
a
football player with a gun. All right, sure.
Yeah.
But it does have the look of like a fucking classic, West Coast action movie. Which
it looks like Beverly Hills Cop 2. It looks like Top Gun. It looks like Days of Thunder. All movies by Tony Scott because he had a look.
I do love a fucking West Coast action movie.
Yeah, I think the only modern person who tries to make things look like this anymore is Michael Bay.
Unfortunately,
yeah. Ooh, stunt double. Oh, that was a double. Look at that's not even Bruce Willis. Did you see that?
Oh, you too. Oh, it does.
That wasn't just different guy just
I thought we were on
casually leaping over a fence.
That guy's Asian.
It doesn't look anything like him. That guy had real hair.
That also wasn't Bruce Willis. Still not Bruce Willis.
Still not Bruce Willis.
Still not. It's like the last 3 or 4 like shots of him has not been Bruce Willis.
I mean, I've heard a lot of stories about him just refusing to do certain shots and shit. You know, like it's not necessary for the movie or whatever. You know.
Yeah. There's probably get some fake shemps to fucking fill in.
Yep.
I just finished a fucking biography on Shemp Howard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh nice.
It was pretty good.
Teo Negron looks like David Spade in the 90s in this.
He's got the stringy blonde hair.
Yep. Both of them
usually in comedies, like
both of them have really convincing hair. Oh yeah, there's the 13.
Yeah.
That was a thing in the 90s for people who don't know. Either shaving all your hair off and leaving a number or shaving out the number in the back of your head.
My mom prevented me from getting USA shaved in the back of my head once, and I retroactively appreciate her.
Yeah, I never tried to get anything like that shaved in, but I did have lines.
But I had lines. I had 2 lines on each side.
Yep. They prevented me from getting a tail. I remember one time I wanted a tail because there were kids in school who had tails, and they wouldn't let me get that. I'm glad they didn't let me get a tail. That would have been awful, you know. Although my dad wouldn't let me get an earring, which I think is ridiculous.
I just waited until I was 18 to get it.
Yeah, so I never had one of them. I mean, we were the last generation of dads who were just like, what? An earring?
Yeah.
Get out of my house.
I disown you.
Yeah. Another coat.
For a dude who lives in Los Angeles, he does own a lot of fucking coats.
Yeah. Yeah. Heavy winter coats.
What's the coldest it's going to get? 65?
Yeah. That's freezing.
Yeah.
He's got a coat too.
Although I will say, I thought I was going to die of hypothermia in fucking Disney California Adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
It's they have 2 theme parks in California. There's Disneyland, and then right next door is California Adventure. It was our anniversary, and we had dinner reservations like in the center of the park. It was like a big like lagoon, and we were eating on the fucking lagoon like outside like at night, and fucking I didn't have a coat with me, and like neither did Amanda. It's fucking like 75 degrees all day, you know.
Yeah.
But like being on the water and like it was fucking freezing.
Yeah, and you're in the desert too. California's just a big desert.
Yeah.
The desert gets cold at night.
Like we literally had to get we got halfway through the meal. I'm like, we just get our food to go. We're fucking dying right now. Yeah.
Oh, here's another thing that you see in a lot of movies that is just so ridiculous. Throwing bullets into a fire and they immediately explode.
Yeah.
His daughter's dressed like 1990s Paula Poundstone.
Big baggy clothes.
Yeah, a collar up.
Yeah.
Jean jacket. Pretty sure it's Robot Jocks. Do you remember Robot Jocks?
I do remember Robot Jocks.
Where they're fighting over Alaska, I think. They're going to have a big battle, the 2 robots to fight over the territory of Alaska.
I want to say Arthur and Bridget covered that on their show on this channel. Regrettable Reviews.
I loved that one when I was a kid because when we were kids, because it was played during the daytime and there was a girl's butt in it. Because it was a future movie, girls and the guys showering.
Yeah, I was gonna say co-ed shower. Yeah.
Yep.
You know you're gonna get a co-ed shower if it's a future movie, and especially if Paul Verhoeven directed it. Yeah.
If I haven't mentioned this before, Bruce Willis is dressed like every guy at a Dave Matthews concert in this movie.
Just hanging out, listening to some Dave.
Also drunk.
Yeah. Yep.
You know.
You guys want to smoke a J? I love like they try to keep hammering home the message of like, we're giving our bodies for this man.
Oh,
we don't get anything
except
millions of dollars.
Yeah, except more money than any person who does an actual job in the world. That's some hair. He's got a little Bruce Willis toupee, it seems, too. It's like a little island in the stream there.
Yeah.
His scar on the temple looked completely different there.
It does keep changing, yeah.
Yeah. Now he's got a Harry Potter scar. Bruce Willis is Harry Potter.
Clearly.
Yeah. You know, that was another great Gene Hackman performance in Young Frankenstein. We were talking about Frankenstein scars before.
Yeah.
You know?
Holy shit. Yeah, he's the blind man.
Yeah.
Lights Frankenstein's finger on fire.
God, he's so greasy in this.
Everybody's greasy in this.
Yeah. You got to shine in the humidity. If you guys don't start greasing some dudes, I'm gonna freak out. Yeah, it is a bit of a bore
because there's nothing to it.
Like, yeah, there's no excitement to the action.
I mean, there's nothing I'm taking away from it now that I like, you know, between when I watched it with sound on and now.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like Tony's going through all the motions, you know?
I mean, well, it was, I mean, just the fucking 90s are littered with these movies.
Yeah. It's like
how many of not like movies similar to this have we done on the show in the past like year and change?
Like Bruce Willis needed a paycheck that year.
Yeah.
You know? And so who's a hot director at the time?
Yeah, who's a hot comedy star? Okay, let's put them together.
Right. This guy just did Beverly Hills Cop 2, which had Eddie Murphy. This guy's Damon Wayans. Maybe we can do like another.
We can't get Eddie Murphy, but we can get Damon Wayans.
Yeah.
Man, I remember like his comedy special when I was a kid was fucking
so funny, right?
Yeah.
His comedy doesn't hold up.
Yeah, because I remember trying to watch it recently and just being like,
yeah,
because a lot of it's like, you know, like homophobic humor,
right,
like
the gay voice, yeah. Oh. See, like this scene here is a lot of foreshadowing as to how Tony Scott's style would progress. You know, all those like quick shots and stuff with all the, you know, like what's going on? Like you watch any of those later movies and it's like the whole movie looked like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, like with Domino. You know, it's just like it's hard to watch when the whole movie looks like that.
Yeah, it looks like a shitty music video. Whoa, shit. Luckily that was empty, but this was not. But it had a top.
Oh, and I love this. They put a car bomb in a car in a fucking parking lot of a football game.
Yeah.
To kill a guy at whenever he goes into the car without thinking of that anyone else might get hurt.
Because, you know, nobody ever steals anything out of a car in a giant parking lot.
Yeah, and parking lots aren't always crowded.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Stallions. I forgot that was their name. The LA Stallions. Uncle Cracker loves you. You know, right there, he's wearing the exact same clothes that Arnold wears in Last Action Hero.
Leather jacket. And
it's the tan leather jacket, the white t-shirt, the jeans. He's wearing khakis there. But it's very close, right?
He was also dressed like Butch in fucking Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. That must have just been a 90s look.
Could just be his jacket, too.
Yeah. Yeah, like you see Jeff Bridges' clothes show up in a lot of his 90s movies, you know.
Those dudes, the dudes like jelly shoes were his shoes.
Right. All his shirts, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like the one with him with the Japanese baseball player.
I know the sweater was his, I think.
Yeah. The one with the Japanese baseball player. He's wearing that in other movies.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
I forget which one it is. The fuck movie was it in? Maybe Fearless, something like that. Something from the 90s. Yeah, there's no logic to the bad guy's plan either, because like they want to make money off of gambling, right? But Taylor Negron, by being a sniper, like a sniper, it's like a suicide job.
Yeah, there's no way he's getting out of there without getting caught.
Right? Where's he gonna make money off this fucking plan?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he is just the henchman.
Yeah, but look at his look. I mean, he's dressed as all flashy and shit.
Yeah.
It's not like he's an ideologue, you know, where he's doing it because he believes in something.
Yeah.
He clearly is just doing this for the money, right? He just works for the guy, the Texan. Like when the Texan gets out of the pool, he was getting his towel and shit.
Yeah.
That's something that an employee does, you know? So what does he gain from sacrificing himself to shoot that politician?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, good point.
Other than to just have this scene of a big shootout in the rafters where he gets shot, then falls through a propeller, and then, you know, gets an enema, you know.
Falls into a vat of acid.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ultimate satirical version of this death in 90s movies came with Con Air. I mean, even though that was an early 2000s movie,
yeah,
it still had
that was 97.
Was it?
Yeah,
you're right, it was. Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah,
that's the ultimate bad guy multi-death, you know?
Yeah,
because Malkovich, you know, he like falls off a building and then he lands on like a conveyor belt, and then he like gets a fucking like a piston like on his head, and then he like gets shot in the balls or something, you know? It's like, oh yeah, he gets shot,
he falls
50 million squibs through a propeller because one death isn't enough.
Oh no, it's John Landis.
Oh my god. I was just watching a Vic Morrow movie earlier. 1990, The Bronx Warriors. It's an Italian movie. Like it's a rip off of the Warriors.
Yeah.
But just Italian. Vic Morrow plays this like enforcer who's going after all the gangs, and you know, he did a bunch of Italian movies, I think, for paychecks. He was in one that I told you about, where they made the illegal Jaws sequel, The Last Shark.
Yes, yeah,
he's the Quint character. And throughout the whole movie, he's talking like this, and he's like this, like this. And it's so fucking great.
We just did Jaws: The Revenge this week on Big Dumb Monsters.
Oh, nice.
It wasn't.
You know, I was just reminded of that this week because I was watching The Poseidon Adventure, another Hackman movie, and I had completely forgotten about the sequel from the 80s, Beyond the Poseidon Adventure, with Michael Caine.
Oh yeah,
that one used to be on TV all the fucking time.
And there's also like the early 2000s remake with Kurt Russell.
Wow, that one is bad. Yeah. Holy shit! They just took every character in the old movie and they made him into a piece of shit.
Yeah.
In this one, when Dreyfus kicks that Freddie Rodriguez, when he kicks he's the waiter.
Yeah.
He's kicking him. He's like, help me, help! And he's like, ah! It is one of the most inadvertently funny scenes in of movie cruelty I've ever seen. He's like, I'm sorry. Look up Freddie Rodriguez death, Poseidon. It is brutal in how fucking horrible of a death it is.
Yeah. I don't think I saw that since it first came out.
No, I didn't see it when it first came out. I saw it many years later on streaming.
I worked at the video store when it came out. So yeah.
I kind of like Wolfgang Peterson movies. You know, that was the only reason why I even checked it out.
Oh, this ending. I know I've just been calling you a piece of shit all movie and fucking everybody behind your back. But let's get back together again.
Yeah. He's got a new scar.
Yeah, it keeps getting darker and lighter.
Yep. Is that from a wound in the movie?
It's gotta be.
I don't know. I've had a lot of stitches and a lot of wounds, and shit never heals the speed it does in movies, you know?
Yeah.
What's that watch he's wearing? Doesn't fit him, that's for sure. Gotta have him reunite with Holly. I mean, Mrs. Hallenbach at the end. Oh, he stole the bag and he blows up at his own place later on. I forgot that.
Yeah.
I was thinking that his car blows up in the parking lot. Because you see the explosion in the background.
Yeah, they see it, like the building, like the roof of the building explodes.
That's right. But the dogs die.
Yeah.
You know, those Dobermans didn't. Well, maybe they hurt some people. But, I mean, it was only because of him, you know? Those poor pups.
Yeah, with people below him, probably. You know?
Yeah. All the other Richies that live on his block.
Well, if that's the case.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
A man just died.
Now
he's dressed like the Fresh Prince.
Yes, he is.
So the bicycle hat turned up.
Yep.
He's got a different toupee on again.
Yeah.
This is my respectable Sunday hair.
Huh. Oh, that's the thing I was talking about before was the Mystery Science Theater movie Werewolf.
Yes.
Because there's a character in it who in every scene has a completely different toupee from the last scene. But they're, you know, those at least they're trying to make it look kind of similar. In this one, you know, like in one scene he looks like Ted Danson, but in another scene he looks like you know, Yakov Smirnoff or something. It's just like they're completely different haircut. But that's one you should check out. Is Werewolf, the Mystery Science Theater one. Stars Joe Estevez.
Oh Jesus! I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say his earlier toupee was like all bunched up in the middle.
Yeah.
And now this one is like a comb over.
Yeah. It's whatever the wig truck had that day, you know.
Yeah.
They're playing Moody River.
Yeah.
The song. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, the Pat Boone.
That was the one that I said the song that I liked.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was in the credits.
All right, folks. Well, that was The Last Boy Scout.
Had nothing to do with Boy Scouts, nor whoever was the last one of them. He wasn't a Boy Scout in any way. I don't know if it was supposed to be an ironic title.
No, Damon Wayans calls him that at one point.
Yeah, but again, the character himself is not a good guy. You know?
Yeah.
There's nothing Boy Scout like about him.
Yeah.
He's not helping old ladies bring groceries across the street. He's not building a fire, you know?
Yeah.
The name really has no meaning whatsoever other than the fact that it sounded like a cool action movie name, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, this movie was like the fucking shit when I was a kid. And now it's just, it definitely has a ton of flaws.
Yeah.
So what should we do next?
Maybe something really bad to just cleanse our palate.
Yeah.
You know?
We haven't done an actual Thursday Night Prime movie in a while.
Yeah.
What about Best of the Best too?
Okay, that's where the movies like became like goofy.
That's where the one where they go to like Korea to fight, I think.
It becomes an action. It becomes like a gun action movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right.
Sportswear by Starter. Holy shit.
Yeah. Back when Starter was like the thing people wanted.
Getting a Starter coat, that was the epitome of cool.
Yeah, that garbage you buy at Walmart now.
Yeah. Wish they would put out Starter jackets. I used to have a Red Sox one. I love that jacket.
I used to have a Giants one, and I got off the bus at my parents' house over here one day, and like this car full of dudes pulled up and like, give me your Starter jacket. And like my house is right there, and like I see my dad outside, and I'm just like, no. I just kept fucking walking. Like
childhood, you were like a little kid, Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
No.
And I just kept walking and fucking they took off.
I had a starter hat stolen.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was going through the woods though. The kids were way older than me. They were drunk, and they were like, "Give me your hat. If you don't, you got to fight for it." You know. And I was like, "Well, that ain't happening." You know.
And performed by Pat Boone
and Prince Rogers Nelson. I want to be a cowboy. Tusk. Huh. The song wasn't in the movie, but the song was referenced.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Maybe it's like sampled in another song.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. So Best of the Best 2 in 2 weeks. Hopefully it's better than the Last Boy Scout. This is a 7.0 on here and on IMDb.
4.5 stars on Amazon.
Which, like, yeah, when I was 12, I absolutely would have given it that.
Yeah.
Now, not so. Was this scene in the movie?
Yeah, I remember we watched this. This is on the way to the game there.
Oh, yeah, I do remember the tire behind him, actually.
And that dude getting shot, I remembered because that guy's a thug in a lot of movies.
Okay.
He's a thug in a bunch of Tony Scott movies. He's one of the Sicilians at the end of True Romance.
All right.
The guy in the suit that just got blown away.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, that'll do it for us. We got shit coming up. We will be at Adirondack Retro Nerd Fest in 8 days, next Saturday. So come check us out there. Saratoga Comic-Con in about 1 month. We'll be there too. Stop by. Grab some stickers and shit from us. If you go to thebullandbee.com and use code MONSTERMEAD, you can get $5 off of your order. Oh God, that fucking terrible G.I. Joe movie that he was in.
I like Retaliation better than the first one.
It is better than the first one, but they're both not.
But it's still
great.
not great. Yeah.
All right, folks. That'll do it. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right.